seen the new Fit one pager, Lean one pager, that'll be in the Facebook group. And then also, and Bob Finnegan did a great job on that. And we have some new back office enhancements we'll show you on Monday. I think he's working on the kind of the final specs of the founder's box, and I'm excited for you to see. So Monday's going to be a big call. There's going to be a lot of really important stuff on there that I think you're going to be excited to see. So that's Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're also reading our book, Extreme Ownership. So each month we're going to read a different book. And I just want to do our very best to help pour into your mind. The weeds grow automatically. Have you ever noticed, like, the weeds grow on the driveway? You're like, how did there get a weed in the middle of the driveway? It's full of cement. Like, you don't have roses that grow in the middle of the driveway. The weeds of negativity, of self-doubt, of discouragement, of fear, of disappointment, that stuff grows automatically in our minds. That stuff's easy. That's just kind of a default setting for most people. But man, the positivity and finding what's right in the world and finding all the things that you're grateful for and learning and growing and changing and developing, that stuff you have to proactively pour into your mind. And so one of the things that we'll be doing a ton of leadership stuff to really help you to become a really great leader for yourself, because the essence of leadership is example. So we first have starts with us, but then also in our homes, like in our relationships in our homes. And then ultimately, like in your careers, and I'm talking outside of your make business, in your actual, job or career, as a mom, as a dad, in your employment or your other businesses that you run. I want to see if we can help you to just, you look back and you go, man, I am like a better person because of this whole experience, And so I want to just encourage you to become the type of person that invests in yourself. Jim Rohn says, the way I look at it is an investment in yourself is always a good investment. By the way, that's worth writing down. An investment in yourself is always a good investment. In fact, I would argue it's the best investment you'll ever make, is the things that you do into your mindset, your skill set, and your heart set, like the things you do to invest into you, man, those will pay you exponential returns. So you want to always be investing into yourself. So each month, we're going to read a book. This Monday, we'll also announce the book that we're going to be reading for September, which I'm so excited about. We've been reading Extreme Ownership, which has been just awesome. Even as we've been talking in our different team discussions, we've been using the book to reference. So on Monday, I'll share with you the new book, which I'm really, really excited about. The book is designed to help build team oneness versus team division. Wouldn't that be so powerful if you actually become one? Versus, all of us pulling in separate directions, the collective power of we could do this together. We can collaborate. We can, it's the interdependency of all of us working together, all of our collective genius. My friends, we're going to change the world together. So I'm excited about that as well. Today, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the comp. And then I actually have Ashton Beisel and Jerica Vaughn that are going to go over some social media strategies, and then also some like kind of communication strategies. What are you saying when you reach out to folks, and how are you, building your business? So I'm really excited today. I think you're going to get a ton of really, really great value. So let me see if I can share a screen with you real quick. I'll pull my slides here. This deck that I'm going to walk you through is going to be a little bit condensed, but I think it'll actually really help you to just understand the framework of the compensation plan. So as you know, our vision is to change the world. And we're going to do that through building the next generation of the modern affiliates and modern networkers. Now, as we're going through the compensation structure, I want you to know we're going through the modeling of this. What we're doing has never been done before. So it's new modeling, for these businesses that we use to help with all the back office and compensation. And so the framework of the business won't change, meaning the framework of the comp won't change, but the percentages could, some of the rules could, that kind of thing. So just know that going in, that you're hearing about all this in a pre-enrollment period where we're modeling and testing and making sure that the compensation plan pays properly. What I mean by that is the people that are doing work are getting the commission, number one, and then it's not too hot, not too cold. It's a little bit of Goldilocks, right? It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. So not underpaying, not overpaying. I'm going to walk through these quickly, but I just want you to know this. I think simple is the new sexy, and I think helping people to be able to understand how they're being paid. We want people to have a balance between selling and team building. So in other words, you can make a great living here if all your desire is just simply to build a customer base. That's great. And some of you say, hey, I would like to build a team too. That's great as well. There's a normal and natural progression through those. There's no confusing leg requirements or max leg requirements, or you have to have 3 legs or 7 legs or 10 legs, my friends. You literally can kind of build at the way that you feel comfortable in doing. We've lost a lot of the, what I call traditional ick factors, the QVs and the MPs and the CPs and the, it's a dollar for dollar compensation structure that I think you're going to love. There's no forced purchasing. There's actually no purchase for a starter kit. A lot of times people say, how much does it cost to sign up? And they mean like, what's the starter kit? It's $39.99 or $75. There'll be no starter kit for our affiliates. Affiliates won't be forced to buy a starter kit. I don't, when you are an affiliate for J. Crew, they don't force you to buy a starter kit to be a modern affiliate for J. Crew. And then also no forced purchasing each month. We're going to build an amazing culture of health and wellness with our products. There's no question about it. But you're not forced to purchase the products in order to be able to receive and earn compensation. You're doing it because you love the product. You're doing it because the products are, adding value to your life. Just like in J. Crew, you don't have to buy a certain amount of jeans every month to be eligible for commissions. Regulatory safe, obviously very, very important. We're very mindful of where our regulatory environments are now. This goes country by country by country. We're obviously launching in the United States, and this will be a tenet for us to build a long-term business that's regulatory safe. And then just basically to pay the folks that do all the work. So I'm going to share with you 5 bonuses. 4 of the bonuses are the traditional comp plan, and then we've added a 5th one for the pre-launch. So there's just 4 bonuses we're going to walk through real quick. First thing is this. You can earn up to 40% commissions on 3 different things. Number 1 is your customers' purchases. Whenever your customers buy, you can earn up to a 40% commission of anything that they buy from you. Also, folks that are your direct affiliates, meaning people that you personally introduce this to that are also affiliates with you. Because a lot of you will have someone that says, hey, not only do I want to buy the products and be a customer, I actually want to share it with you. And you'll earn up to 40% of anything they order. And then you can earn up to 40% of everything that you order as well as basically a commission. You also can enjoy up to a $200 a month shopping credit. The way that this works is the more you sell, the more you make. So if you look at the title here, you start at these affiliates, you're going to want to look at this premier affiliate. Once you sell $2,000 in sales, monthly sales between those 3 areas, you become what's called a premier affiliate. Over here is the minimum commissions at each one of the things. So again, the more you sell, the more you make. So when you become a premier affiliate, which means you've sold $2,000 in sales, $2,000 in sales between your customers, your direct affiliates, and your personal orders, you also are eligible for a 10% commission on your direct affiliates customer sales. So again, you introduce someone that says, hey, not only do I love the products, but I want to share them with you, and they go out and start building their own customer base, you can receive a 10% commission on anything they sell as well. This is the second bonus I want to share with you. So number 1 is your own circle sales. Number 2 is that 10% override on all of your direct affiliates customer sales. So that's step 2. All right, step 3 is you can develop these premier affiliates. Now, a premier affiliate is, again, someone that sold $2,000 worth of product. You can develop an unlimited amount of premier affiliates, and there's a 5-tier override. Let me quickly walk you through what a tier looks like, just so you feel like you understand what that means. When you develop a premier affiliate, you develop a tier. So let's go back to what we talked about earlier, which is up to 40% on your circle sales, 40% of the customers, direct affiliates, and of your personal order. You get the 10% override once you become a premier affiliate. By selling $2,000, you get a 10% override on anything they sell. Now, how does a tier work? Let me just kind of walk you through this. Let's have one of your direct affiliates refers an affiliate who has their own customers, an affiliate who has their own customers, an affiliate who has their own customers. As those referrals happen, one referral to another, at some point you're going to have what we call a tier. Let me walk you through how this would work. Your goal is to develop folks that have $2,000 premier affiliates. So let's go back through this example. Let's say that the first person sells $600 worth of orders, $600 worth of circle sales or customer and direct affiliate sales. The second person sells $400. Well, at 6 and 400, they're not a tier yet. Why? Because they're below 2,000, right? So if the third person sells 3,000, they're in this case over the 2,000. So what would happen is that those circles would compress into one tier, and that's how a tier works. And all of that you would receive an override on. Now, here's what's cool: is you can receive up to 5 tiers. This is an example of 3 tiers, but you can receive up to 5 tiers of commission. So as those referrals continue to happen, you can be paid on 5 tiers. The other thing I want you to consider is that there's no limit to the amount of folks that you can personally introduce to the business. So a tier is created when someone becomes a premier affiliate. There's no limit to the amount of width that you can have. And so on each team, you can get 5, you're eligible for up to 5 tiers worth of commissions per every single team that you start. And again, you'll earn a 2 to 10% commission depending on where they're at in your tiers. So that's kind of how step 3 works. All right, step 4 is what happens for that revenue that maybe goes below the 5 tiers. So as you build and support your team, you can receive a 1 to 5% override on your entire sales organization. Now, my friends, this is a really, really, really awesome bonus, because this means you basically are paid all the way down to, in essence, to infinity. Now, this bonus pays, you can earn far and wide, so you can earn on all the width of your team and then all the depth of your team. So in other words, no matter how far it goes. The way that it works is it starts, well, let me go back to this one. So it's a 1 to 5. So let me go through this. Up to 40% here, that 2 to 10% in your tiers, and then the 1 to 5% on everything below. So that's step 4 of the bonus as well. Okay, let's go through step 5. Step 5 is an extra bonus that we're doing just for the pre-launch time period. So the way that this one works is when you have, this is your sales volume through your entire team, 25,000 to 400,000. This is how many premier affiliates you have within your entire team. These are the cash bonuses that you can earn as you do these sales targets, and it's paid out over 2 months to 6 months. So let me walk you through how this works. This bonus, you can earn up to $100,000 of extra cash. These bonuses stack at each level. So the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 15, these all stack. So as you earn these, you didn't just earn 1 and then an extra 1 to get to 2. You earn 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 10. You have 12 months to qualify. And you want to know what's interesting with this bonus? This bonus, the 12-month ticker, doesn't actually begin until March 31st of next year. In March of next year is when we have the official launch of the company. The pre-launch starts in October. We're in the pre-enrollment now. And so you'll have 12 months. So for many of you, you'll have more, in this case, way more than 12 months. You'll have, more like 18 months. And you just have to join by March 25th. I think it says 25th. Yeah, I think it'll actually be March 31st of next year is what that will be. So just to kind of walk through, let's just kind of go back through this one more time. There's 5 steps, right? Step 1 is you grow your circle sales. And the way that works is your personal customers, any direct affiliates, and even your own order, you can receive up to 40% commission on. Step 2 is you become a premier affiliate, which is when you do $2,000 of sales. And that's a really exciting, time, is when you become a premier affiliate. Number 3 is you develop other premier affiliates. That's when you start to receive the 5-tier override. You'll earn a 2 to 10% override. Step 4 is when you start building and supporting your team. And that's when you'll receive the 1 to 5% on the total team builder bonus. And then number 5 is when you get into action right now during the pre-enrollment, and you really go, start putting some points on the board during this, and you can earn that up to just over $100,000. I think it's $103,000 total as you hit those sales targets here. So that's a very quick overview of, kind of overview structure. Now, my friends, it's in this case 5 bonuses, 5 steps. You might have noticed there's no max leg requirements, or no, like you have to have this many legs, or there's no CV or QP or MP or whatever. It's just very straightforward and very streamlined on what we need to do, get customers and share this message with people. Okay, man, I'm excited to introduce you guys to Jerica Vaughn. I've known Jerica now for a number of years. It's so interesting. I remember when I first met her, her husband sent me an Instagram message, and he goes, my wife is awesome, and she is like she was in a direct sales company and she was succeeding, but he goes, she puts in so much effort. I feel like she should be getting more kind of bang for her buck, more return. And he goes, well, I just feel like she needs good mentoring. He's like, would you be open to, to chat with her? I said, no problem. I said, let's set up a Zoom. And then I find out they live like 2 streets away from me. No kidding. Or whatever, 4 streets away from me. So they ended up coming over to my house, she and her husband. And I just instantly hit it off with these guys. I mean, they're just my kind of people. They're down to earth. She's super sharp. Her husband is too. Beautiful mom, beautiful family. And they just have so much going for them, in their life right now that by the way, she joined that company and just crushed it, went right to the very, very top, and has been just a loyal friend and a great leader. So one thing that she's great at is social media. She's just fantastic at it. And so she's going to share with you some of the strategies that she does on social. So Jerica, let me see if I can add your slides here. And then tell me if I'm wrong, but can you click through those? Or actually, I think it's only one slide, right?
It's only one.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. You guys, I mean, the feeling is so mutual. I'm so grateful for Justin and for, the part that he's played in my journey and becoming, the leader that I am. But like you said, my name is Jerica Vaughn and I am in St. George, Utah. I'm really trying to be patient alongside everyone else and not go knock on his door for samples. My husband's like, just go and say hi. Maybe you'll get some samples. But no, I'll be patient with everyone else. I've been married for 14 years. I have three kids, and I've been in the online sales industry for 7.5 years. And over those 7 years, you guys, there has been a lot of trying and failing on social media, but also a lot of learning and growing. So I'm going to help you guys by sharing a couple of key tips that have helped me grow my social media as well as my business. The very first thing, you guys, and this is a little bit hard for some people in the beginning, but it's authenticity. And I feel like this is super important because this is not only how people get to know you, but this is also how they begin to trust you. And I'm a hot mess most days, and I'm incapable of faking otherwise. And my audience knows that, but I also share the days that I feel on top of my game. And if you're only sharing your wins and your highlights, others are going to doubt their own ability to do what you do because they don't see the real life. They only see the real life. So sharing that you have a real life with a real spouse and real kids, you have 1,000 activities, and you're still able to have a successful online business. The next thing, you guys, is education and entertainment. And you want to be able to provide education on the business and the products, but you also want to be educating on you and why you are a key piece in the puzzle to helping them succeed. So how do you do this? Have you guys ever heard the phrase stories sell? People connect with and remember stories. So I want you guys to ask yourself, what led you here? If it's the products, why? Do you have specific health struggles or do you have specific health goals? Tell your story about that. If it was the business model that got you, what was it that excited you? Did you come from a previous company? Did you maybe swear off of network marketing like the rest of us? And then all of a sudden you found yourself enrolled and have this newfound excitement and drive to build something incredible. You have zero experience and zero clue what you're doing here, but you're excited nonetheless. Everybody has a story, and stories are captivating. So storytelling has the ability to connect you on a deeper level. So you guys just share your story. You are an expert on your own story. You don't have to know all the ins and outs of the comp plan or the science behind the products to share your story. So you can share your goals, your dreams, your values, and how you plan to use these products and this business to help you achieve your desired lifestyle. And you can have fun with this. There's audios, you guys, that portray emotions and excitement and inspiration, and then you can share your heart in the captions. But when you're highlighting the reasons why you are here and the vision of where you're going to attract others who want those same things. Don't be a billboard for the company. We already have the best of the best in marketing. I promise you, Bob Finnegan has us taken care of. But you want to brand you, and there's more to you than Make Wellness. We're so excited about it, and we're so blessed to be here, but sometimes people might connect with you because you shared a story about your family, or maybe a vacation, or maybe you're really good at making sourdough bread. I'm not one of those people, but somebody might make a connection with you through the other things that you're sharing. And maybe they become interested in your business or products down the line, and maybe they don't. But if you're sharing all the different pillars about you, you're going to be able to make connections with other people. And Ashton's going to touch on that in just a minute. But something that I hear a lot is, well, I don't even know what to post. Like I need a framework. So you guys, here's a few tips for coming up with a framework. One, look at others that you admire in the industry and look at how they're posting and use it as a framework. Do not copy and paste, but use it as a framework for your own posts. If I'm ever feeling stuck or needing inspiration, I pull out my notes on my phone and I go to my notes section where I have taken notes while listening to personal development or podcasts or team calls. I think back to conversations I've had recently. Or you can even scroll your feed, you guys, and look for problems that you hear other people talking about and ask yourself if you can provide a solution to that. Make a post, turn it into a reel, and you guys can also repurpose content. You can go and talk about it in your stories after. You can make the reel. You can use it if you're doing emails or texts or things like that. You can repurpose all this content. But you guys, like anything, consistency is key. And you've got to be showing up every single day to get the results that you're looking for. But hopefully these tips will help you guys feel inspired to go make more authentically shared posts about things that you're excited and inspired by.
Jerica, okay, keep going.
No, I'm good. I'm done. I was just gonna try to do my best to tee up Ashton, but you guys, let
me ask you a question. Let me jump in and ask you a question. Just if in your most simple way of thinking about it, how do you decide what goes on your wall? Let's call it like as a reel or a post, and how do you decide what goes in your stories? Do you have a kind of a framework or a thought process that you use there?
Okay, I actually talked about this just the other day, and you guys, I put up all my inspiration and things like that I want to stay present on my social media in my feed. But in my stories, I feel like that's where people really get to know you. I talked about this the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I realize that I show up on here and I like give a play-by-play of my day. And I'm like, you guys probably don't even care. But I do it because I want to share, like, I am going through normal things. I am doing the carpool pickup and I'm working my business in the carpool pickup line, or I'm making time to go to the gym or get in a workout. Like, I'm sharing all the daily grind things in my stories. And you guys, I laugh at myself. I do some stupid stuff. I do some ridiculous things, but I'm also sharing wins like that I'm proud of. Like, I spent time with my son yesterday, took him out to lunch, after an appointment. And it's just like, I feel like you really get to show you as a real person in your stories.
Let me ask you this too, like the time with your son. So I think sometimes we say to ourselves, I don't want to feel like I'm bragging. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe someone else right now is in a really tough financial situation, and here I am, having a fun date day with my son when they're working 3 jobs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend that when people say, I don't want to feel like I'm bragging or boasting, that's not even my heart. I'm trying to share an authentic connection I had with my child, using that as an example. But how do you coach them through that feeling of not want to feel like you're boasting or bragging or, trying to like highlight your amazing life? How do you share some of your wins in a way that you feel like can still resonate with your audience?
So like I said before, like, I think if you're only sharing the wins, that's when it's like, look at me, look what I've done, but if you're also sharing the grind, you guys, and you're sharing the struggles and the days that you have a hard time, like, that is more relatable. And then people can see, okay, well, she's had a really hard day this time, or maybe she struggled with this, but this is how she overcame it. And she's also having these wins. It's not just a highlight reel.
Yeah. One other thing I would add to that, guys, is, you can share. So Jerica's second point was this idea of storytelling, right? So instead of just saying, hey, I went to the game, or hey, I went with my child on this date, you can tell the story of when you were struggling financially, and you tell that to say, I'm so, the lesson you learned, I pushed through, I persevered, and now I'm able to take this little boy on a date, and it really is meaningful to me. So it's almost like you're coming across in a spirit of humility and of gratitude for this. And it's a before and after story versus I just took my son to, this amazing dinner and it's awesome and we're awesome. It's more of like, look, here's my journey. What you're seeing now is not where I started. I started here and I worked hard, and now I'm able to do this, and I feel a high sense of gratitude. So you're kind of sharing a story versus feeling like you're bragging, because remember, they might be seeing a little bit of your after picture versus some of that before. So make sure you can bring the before picture in as you share that, right?
Yeah,
Jerica,
I love that you, your shirt, dream, struggle, victory. And you always say, take good notes through the struggle, because you will be able to share that story when you're in your victory too, but people will relate more to your struggle. So
that's exactly right. Jerica, thank you so much. So good, as always. By the way, can you guys give her some love in the chat? So I want to say something about Jerica. This is not her favorite thing. Being on with 1,000 people is not her favorite thing. So, she's funny when you see her on social. You're like, oh, she must be just loves to be in front of everyone. You get her in front of everyone, she's like, oh crap. She's more of an introvert. Which is a great lesson for all of us, that you can tap into your extrovert a little bit as well. So, Jerica, great job. All right, next I'm going to introduce you guys to Ashton Beisel. Ashton was on our team call, I don't know, last week, I believe it was, or maybe it was even this week on Monday. And Ashton is she's full of wisdom, and she's a great teacher. And she has, as she shared, she's a boy mom. She's got these young boys, and so she's able to break complex things down into where all of us, including her sons, can be like, that makes sense, Mom. Good job. So she's going to walk you through some of the communication. One of the things I want you to take note of is she's going to give you some really great scripts. Now, here's my thoughts on scripts. My friends, I used to literally mimic the way my mentor said it. I just said it the way they said it, just word for word. Over time, I could build in my own personality a little bit over time. But my point is, take some of these and start to get used to saying it kind of the way that she says it, or get used to saying it the way that Heather says it. And then again, over time, your personality can kind of come in. So, Ashton, with that, can you, by the way, does it let you advance? Oh, let me go back. Sorry, I already advanced all yours. Does it let you advance it from your side?
It won't, but I'll just tell you next slide. So you can go to, that one right here. Okay, listen, Jerica did so good, guys, on content. And I saw one question in the comments. I thought it was a really good question. They said, what platform do I start on? Should I start on TikTok? Should I start on Instagram? Do I start on Facebook? I want you to put this in the comments. Pick your platform. I don't want you to spread yourself thin, because the majority of you have full-time jobs. We want this to be simple, and everything Jerica shared with you is very simple. Your leaders have systems that make things simple, and post ideas in your boards, story ideas in your boards. I would encourage you to pick your platform. And you might say, how do I pick my platform, right? How do I pick which one? Well, where do you currently already have the most connections? For me, I've been on Facebook for a long time. That's my generation. I'm 37 years old. Most of us are over on Facebook. Now, my Instagram stories and my Facebook stories are linked. So I kind of get double for my effort there. And so your leader can show you exactly how to do that. You can also go to YouTube and YouTube how to connect my Instagram and Facebook stories, and it'll really give you 2 for 1 for your effort. But I want to encourage you to pick your platform. You can have tremendous success, and there's people that have built ginormous businesses focusing on one platform. If you try to spread yourself too thin, you're not going to be as effective as really picking your platform and saying, I am going to show up there. Okay. So as Jerica's talking, as Justin's sharing this comp plan, you might be thinking to yourself, how am I going to do this? What am I going to say when someone messages me? How am I going to make this happen? I want to, succeed here. I want to do all the things. How is this going to work? I want to encourage you. Don't ask how, ask who. Don't ask how, ask who. WHO. Who do you know? Who is paying attention to your posts already? Who is paying attention to your stories already? So we're going to talk about 2 things, is connection and communication. connection and communication. So Justin, we can go to the next slide. Let's talk first about connection. Now, here's the thing, friends. Okay, here's the thing. You could have the most beautiful content. Like, we could fly Jerica to your house and she could be like, sister, we're going to make you your own color scheme. Like, we're going to set up content for 30 days. You could have the most incredible content on planet Earth, but listen closely. If the same 30 people are seeing it over and over and over again, we are not going to get where we want to go. Okay. If the same 30 people, 50 people are seeing it over and over again, we're not going to get where we want to go. So naturally, let's just use Facebook as an example. Naturally on Facebook, you're going to kind of have an already little set audience of people. You interact with them, they interact with you, that's seeing your content. But wouldn't it be amazing if there was an intentional way for you to draw new eyeballs to your content? I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly and really simply throughout your week. Okay. There is an amazing app called Sheets. Okay. Sheets. Here's a screenshot of the app. It's actually connected to Gmail. Okay. So you can do this on a laptop. I like having this app with me because, like Justin said, I'm a boy mom. Most of the time you can find me in a basketball gym or you can find me on a football field. When my kids are at practice, I can still work my business because everything goes with me on my cell phone. So I like having the app Google Sheets. So here's what we're going to do, friends. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to log into your platform of choice. I'm using Facebook as an example here. Okay. Now on Facebook, when you log in, what happens is you log in and you see what's called your news feed. Your news feed is kind of who you interact with and who's interacting with you. It's kind of predetermined for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go to your profile. Okay. Your profile. And you're going to go where you see your friends. So not your news feed when you log in. That's who's already seeing your stuff, guys. And that's whose stuff you're seeing. I want you to go into your friends list. See where it says see all friends? I want you to click on that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start scrolling. Now, listen, for the introverts in the room, I am not about to tell you to go message all of these people. Some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, she's about to tell me how. No. Okay. Today, I'm going to lay out a plan based on whatever your personality is. Some people's personality is they have no problem messaging someone. I think the majority of people really like doing more of an attraction marketing style. So that's what I'm going to show you what to do. Okay. You're going to click on see all friends. Now I want you to start scrolling and I want you to think to yourself, who would you love as a teammate here? Who just has that it factor? Who is already showing up on their social media and they maybe don't necessarily have a business? Who has experience in the industry? Who is someone who would be a great customer? Somebody who is maybe, very much about holistic things and taking care of themselves, or they're in the gym. And I want you to begin to put these names. Now, Google Sheets, it's like a little Excel document, but in an app. Okay. I want you to begin to put these names down. Now, here would be my challenge to you is to make a list of 100 people. Okay. This is called your 100-person list. Anyone who I mentor directly, if they ever come to me and they say, hey, Heather's smiling right now because she knows she hears me say this all the time. But someone's like, hey, so I don't feel like my business is moving as fast as I want to. I'm like, okay, you know what question I'm going to ask you? And they're like, I know. I haven't been working my 100-person list. I'm like, yeah, friend, like your content's great, but the same 30 peeps are seeing your stuff over and over. So you want to begin to work what's called your 100-person list, 100 people that you put on a list that would be an amazing teammate, right? Would be an amazing customer. And so if you do 100 people, okay, 100 people, if you do 20 a day, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. You're like, what do I do? If you do 20 a day, 5 days a week, that's 100 a week. Super simple, guys. We can do that while we're sitting there watching Friends, okay? You can binge watch Friends on Netflix, all right? And you can do this. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to go, let's say that Heather was someone on my list. I'm like, she's a girl mom. She's into health. She's so cute. You can tell she's connected in her community. What I'm going to do is I am going to go to Heather's page, if she's one of my 20 people for that day, and I am going to like, comment, and ask a question on her latest post. Like, comment, and ask a question. So I'm going to say, Heather, this is so cute. What school is your daughter a cheerleader at? Heather, beautiful picture. Where were you guys at on vacation? Why am I asking a question? I'm asking a question because guess what? She's then going to respond to me. And what social media is going to do, remember in the beginning when I talked about your news feed, what you see when you log in? Social media is going to go, oh, because I asked Heather a question. Heather responded. Social media is going to go, these two chicks like each other. I'm going to start showing Heather Ashton's content. Guys, I have been doing this for years. It works. I am telling you, I have screenshots of people that I have had on my list, and then they start watching my stories. Whenever you put up stories, you can swipe up to see who's watching them. When you consistently start doing that, please message me and tell me and be like, I'm doing the thing. It's working. That girl that I wanted, the Heather is now watching my stories. And guess what? Heather would tell you, anyone would tell you, it is a gift for them to be on your 100-person list. They should be honored because, like Justin said, we are about to change the world. Okay, now let's land this plane. We can go to the next slide. Okay, now let's talk about if you are a person who would like word choices to go message someone. Now, please put the word authentic in the comments. Authentic. If you are going to choose to send a direct message to somebody, and listen, I want to give you both choices because your style might be different, right? I want to give you the option. So you can take a screenshot of this and make it your own. Like, I'm from Dallas, Texas. I say y'all. I've got 3 boys. I say bro, okay? Not everybody talks like that. You talk in ways that are authentic to you. And I would really challenge you, and I will tell you, Heather is the master of this, guys. She will send voice messages. And again, be authentic. It's not like, let's go message 50 people a day. Like, that's not going to be effective because you really want to be genuine when you're saying what's on here. Like, listen, I'm not direct messaging everybody. I thought of you because of XYZ reason. So when you're thinking of, you thought of them because of XYZ reason, people, guys, love to hear compliments about themselves. Okay. Tell them, why did you think of them? You're beautiful, you're connected, you seem like you're somebody that's really into health and that really cares about other people, whatever it is for you. And then I want to focus on this last little bit here, okay? So this last line, it says, insert your goal, and I'm going to help other people accomplish XYZ thing too. You want to share with them, man, Justin just showed you an incredible comp plan that has so much power behind it, and you're getting so much strategy. What are you going to go do here? What are you going to go accomplish? How much money are you going to be making here? And speak into it with future tense. Here is what I'm going to do. Here's why. And I'm going to help other moms do this too. So Heather, for example, when I first met her, she wanted to be able to quit her embroidery business. She was staying up till 2 a.m. working her embroidery business. She'd be like, listen, I'm going to work myself out of this other business that I have. My goal is to make XYZ amount of money a month. And I'm going to help a couple of other moms who want to be homeschool moms do that too. Don't be afraid to get specific. Okay. So when you share that, it's going to pull on the heartstrings because yes, it's a financial declaration, but it's also why you're doing that. Okay. We can go to the next slide. All right. Let's finish talking about this is communication. Communication. All right. We make the post. We draw the eyeballs to our page with our 100-person list. Now, what do we say when someone comments on a post? It's like, what do I say? Okay. I want you to put this in the comments. Let the tools do the talking. Let the tools do the talking. You do not have to know everything, friend. I am not a scientist. That is why we have Alan Jones. Okay. I do not expect to be able to say every single little thing, and neither should you. So these are very simple word choices. And these are actually my personal literal word choices. And you might be thinking, wow, this is super simple. Yeah, I keep it simple because it's all about the other person, and all of the tools we have already do enough talking to excite everyone. So if someone comments on a post, or maybe they respond to a set of stories, this would be step 1. Hey, I saw your comment on my post, or hey, happy to get you info. Tell me a little bit about what interested you. I'm asking them about them. We can go to the next slide. Okay. Now, here's step 2. I want to give you two options. Some people like to talk on the phone. Other people are like, if you call me, I am going to throw my phone into a lake. Why would you call me? I am only text. I am only a texter. Okay. Millennials rise up. I totally get that. And guess what? Some of the people that you're talking to on the other end, if you try to lead them to a phone call, they'd be like, no thanks. But other people, they'd be like, I want to get on the phone and I want to connect hearts. You're usually going to attract people that are like you. I can kind of go either way. I don't mind talking on the phone. And this is a very unique time. So I'm getting on the phone with a lot of people, but my friend Callie, who's at the very top of every leaderboard, she does everything through message. So you can pick either one of these responses. This one over here would lead to a phone call. Okay. So you're setting up that call first. And then this one over here is like, hey, do you have a second to watch a quick video? Okay, now we can go to the next slide. I'm going to land this plane. I'm going to pass it back to Justin. Okay, so then you would send the 2 videos, the YouTube brand overview for them to watch, and then also the product overview. You'll send both of these. You say, here you go, watch these videos. Now listen, if you're doing the phone call route, I do not get on the phone with somebody before they have watched the overview. Because once they watch the overview, guys, they're in. Okay, Justin does such a good job. They're excited. And notice that I say this. Now, again, if you're doing through text, I'm going to have them watch that first. You get to control the pace of your conversation. If someone's like, tell me about the peptides, tell me about this, okay? You don't have to answer all those questions. Let them watch the videos, okay? Now, just notice it says this. This is a keyword choice. And I'm going to hand it back to Justin, okay? Let me know what stands out to you, what you're excited about, and I'm happy to answer questions. Why am I saying that? I'm going ahead and prefacing to them that they're going to be excited and something's going to stand out to them and they're going to have just great questions to ask me. So with that, guys, connection, communication, content, I think we covered it all today. Justin, I'll pass it back to you.
Man, so good. Hold on one sec. Hold on. There we go. Man, Ashton and Jerica, thank you so much. Guys, can you give Ashton some serious love in the chat? So do you want to know one thing that I love about Jerica and Ashton and Heather, and honestly, I feel like this has been true of all of the stuff that we've done so far, is everyone that participates really prepares. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not winging these things. Like, Heather was fully locked in, fully prepared. Jerica, fully prepared. Ashton, fully prepared. And I gave them very limited amount of time to prepare, and they just did a great job. I just think it's such a great example for all of us that, man, when it's our turn to get up to bat, let's make sure we do a great job. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we really serve everybody, the total community at a really high level. We have 837 of us on here. You're taking time out of your schedule. I just love how they really did a great job and really, poured into all of us and gave us strategies and tips and tactics and insights and their wisdom of all their years of experience. So Ashton, was just so good. Who's going to make a 100-person list, and who is going to do the 20 people a day for 5 days? By the way, did you notice it's just liking, commenting, and then asking a question? Like there's not one of us that can't go like, comment, ask a question, and start to build your algorithm and build the eyeballs or the attention that you're getting. And then with Jerica's strategies, then they're seeing more of your content. They're hearing more of your heart. They're hearing more of your story. So, man, that shouldn't feel intimidating to any of us, right? To like, comment, and ask a question to people that are our friends. I mean, come on, that shouldn't be something that we feel like we can't do. So how many of you are committed is an action step? Because remember, my friends, write this in your notes. You want to close the gap in life. You want to close the gap. You want to close the gap from inspiration to action. Most people get inspired, like, oh, that's a good idea. That's interesting. Cool. And then guess what happens? They never close the gap. There's no action. In other words, they never get into action. So you want to close the gap from inspiration, like, I'm inspired, that's a good idea, to action. The closer you can close that gap, the faster you can be the kind of person that gets inspired, takes action, gets inspired, takes action. That is a success principle. Okay. Inspiration, action. You want to close the gap. So how many of us today are saying, I'll go close the gap? That makes sense to me. I'm going to be more authentic in my content. I'm going to share more stories like Jerica talked about, and be more consistent. And then we also are saying, I could do a 100-person list. I could do a 100-person list today, and I could do 20 today, and start into this rhythm of liking, commenting, asking questions. Like, comment, ask questions, and start that engagement process. That's a great attraction marketing strategy for all of us. So my friends, we love you. You're doing a great job, and we're going to change millions and millions and millions and millions of people's lives around the world. There's no question about it. And so this is just the beginning of where we're going, both in this pre-enrollment time. We are ending up August. That was a historic month for the direct sales space, candidly. That was off the charts. And we had tens of thousands of people join us in August. We're going to have tens of thousands join us in September as we head into our official, beginning of the pre-enrollment